That's a Hall of Fame terrible take right there.
No, it's not. It's true. It's so true.
What?
Boy just choked. Straight women booty and let the ball go.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
LeBron James
puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Irving and Curry. One-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
Oh yeah, but we'll get to explaining and debating in a second. Joseph,
Dessert.
how we feeling?
I'm here. No, I'm good. It's cold, bro. We got a lot of snow. We had a lot of snow.
Yeah, we got it too. Almost bust my ass trying to throw some damn garbage in my trash can.
I shoveled the driveway today. Heart.
Sucks being in the Midwest. Sucks being in the Midwest when we get this garbage. But Joe, we got some basketball to talk about. It's been a minute.
Yes, sir.
Traveling and everything for all the holidays.
Got COVID, sick.
Yeah, whole lot of stuff going on. Not been a good week for my sports fandoms, Joe. It's not been a good week.
It's been like 2 weeks, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's been a rough little minute.
I tried to tell you Jimmy was getting out of here. On the last episode, I told you Jimmy was about to be gone. You're like, Jimmy not going nowhere. Blah 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 blah.
No, okay. So we're gonna start.
Fans are gonna get the Bradley Bill they wanted to. But go ahead.
We're gonna start there with Jimmy. I feel like you're not the only person that's tried to misrepresent what I said. All right.
No.
I said unless Jimmy basically does exactly what Jimmy ended up doing, the Heat were not just gonna trade him. Pat Riley was never just gonna punt on the season and get rid of Jimmy
Absolutely.
Butler. Now
Absolutely
that Jimmy Butler is gonna basically throw a fit, and I would say rightfully so. Now he's gonna demand the trade, and he kind of is trying to force the Heat's hand here. I don't know why Pat Riley's acting surprised. If you look at basically any other stop that Jimmy's been at, Jimmy. I don't think Jimmy plays for money, but when it's time for Jimmy to get paid, Jimmy needs the respect that comes with that max contract. And so that's kind of the genesis of this entire issue.
So Jimmy's right to want that max contract, even though he's not really a superstar. But when LeBron James tried to get it out of Pat Riley, everybody said LeBron was wrong. But okay, now Jimmy right for trying to strong arm Pat Riley, and it's not working.
I don't think Pat Riley ever had an issue giving LeBron a max deal. That wasn't the issue with LeBron in Miami. Like, let's be very clear about that. LeBron
snacks away then. Why you
all
take that
the
snacks
extra
away?
shit that LeBron wanted done for him and him only was the shit that
and that's the same thing Pat Riley's doing with Jimmy Butler. He's tired of all the extra shit that come with Jimmy Butler. Are you going? Yes, there is. Okay, there's not extra shit with Jimmy Butler.
No, not like that.
That's
not
ridiculous.
like, I want special treatment on the planes. I want this. I want to be able to make
prima donna.
decisions.
He's been a prima donna since he was the sixth man of the year, or was in the running for like the 6 man of the year. That man been a prima donna ever since every stop. What are you talking about? He was a prima donna in Minnesota. He was a prima donna at the 76ers, and now he's doing the same thing. He's fussing and making a fit when it's time for him to get paid.
I mean, he's only there for half a season, but
and they got rid of his ass.
Jeff Teague's already spoken on this on his podcast because he was on the team in Minnesota with Jimmy. He was on the team with him. He was a teammate at the time when it went bad in Minnesota. And he said Jimmy wanted to get paid.
Of course.
GM said, no, it's Cat's turn. And Jimmy said, no, basically, fuck Cat. It's my turn. I'm the best player. So when it's time to pay me, it's always my turn first. And they said no. So then Jimmy said, okay. He beats the starters with the third string team, the infamous story, demands his trade, goes to Philly. Then Philly says, hey, we'll keep Jimmy if some unnamed person in the front office, if you can control him. He said, oh, you don't have to worry about controlling me. I'll leave. So then he went to Miami. Miami gives him an extension. And now it's time again for him to get that next extension. Pat Riley said no. Jimmy said, okay. Then you don't get Jimmy Butler. So, Joe, I'll let you go first on this.
You have to be available.
Okay.
The number one skill in the NBA is availability.
Jimmy Butler is not the only player on the Heat That is
Yes,
that's
but it's
missing 15 to 20
routinely.
games.
It's been the last 3 to 4 years where Jimmy Butler has missed 20,
Who is?
15
Let me ask you this,
games.
Joe. In the last, obviously not last year because that was only
But
one
what have they
series. But
gotten out of that when he comes back?
the previous years when the Heat were in the playoffs, making their deep runs, who was never there? Who was the one player that was never there?
Hero.
Who's got a max contract?
Hero. I didn't say, yeah, they was wrong for that move too. I
Who
agree
has
with
missed 20 games 2 straight years?
you.
The
Hero.
only other All-Star on the other All-Star on the Heat,
Oh, Bam.
Mr. Heat, Bam. He's
Oh,
missed a
you're not
lot
even
of games.
blaming Bam? That's
No,
crazy.
I'm saying they've got their contracts. Fair. I think they should get their contracts.
Deserved.
Do you think they're gonna not get their next one?
No.
Yes, they will.
Max?
You don't think Bam and
Max?
Hero are gonna get their next contract?
Yeah, they'll get, but is it gonna be a max? They gotta make
All
a.
right then.
Well,
Yes, they're
they're
gonna
not
get
gonna
the
make an all,
max.
but they're not gonna make an all NBA team, so it's not gonna be like a super max. They'll never get that.
Oh, okay, exactly. So Jimmy Butler's the reason the Heat get to the finals. It's not Hero
I
and Bam. Hero hasn't even been there.
Yeah, but we saw what happened with the Lakers and Kobe, bro. Like Jimmy Butler is not like he about to play for another 10 years. He's not gonna even play for another 5 years at a high level.
Joe,
Like you gotta have
this
a
is what the
contingency
extension
plan.
was. Jimmy's got 2 opt-ins left on his deal. He wanted to tear up the last one and basically guarantee 1 more year than basically it's already on his contract. Because of the new CBA, if a player is, I believe, over the age of 35, which Jimmy is, by the time his new contract would start, you can only do a max of 3 years. It's not that big of a deal. Jimmy wanted $2 extra
Three is
million
a lot.
the next 2 years and then 1 more year. That's nothing.
So he was gonna be
That's nothing.
39.
38 he would have been age 38 in the last year.
That's old, bro. That's old, bro. He's not LeBron. They old, bro. They had to deal with that with D Wade. They not trying to do that again. Pat Riley run that team, and
All right.
pouting
Where's he
about it
going to
ain't
go without
helping.
Jimmy Butler?
Pouting about it ain't gonna help.
Where's
Hey,
he going to go without Jimmy Butler this year?
y'all said the same thing about D Wade. That's the same thing about Chris Bosh, and they found a way. They still got Eric Spoelstra. They still got Pat Riley. They still got some young talent that they can develop around. You'll be fine, bro. You
All
gonna
right.
get a piece like Bradley Beal in return. So you're gonna have the shooters that's
They
gonna help.
already said that's a no-go. They're not taking Beal in his
Yeah.
contract.
Okay.
Already said it.
That's what they say right now. Yeah, they're saying that right now because they don't have any options. But when it comes down to it, they're gonna do it. Bradley Beal playing off the bench, he gonna love that. He gonna be like, damn man, maybe I'm about to waive that no trade clause.
It's not
Miami.
about what Brad
Miami gonna
wants.
take it too, bro. They gonna take it, bro. They gonna take it.
Look, I've
They
said
gonna
from the
take it.
jump.
I've heard people
I've
say
said from
that
the jump.
about
I
Chris
think
Paul for so long too. About we don't want that contract. We're not taking that contract. Everybody took that Chris Paul contract. They'll take that. They'll take that Bradley Beal contract. That ain't nothing.
I would if they're gonna have to
Nothing.
move Jimmy. That's the move I think they have to make because at least
No.
when healthy, you still have a shot. I think with Brad. Anyone else that they're gonna get, you're punting on the season, and you're kidding yourself if you think you're gonna win with some Jonathan Kuminga or Wiggins, any of those types of players. You're kidding yourself if you think you're gonna do anything with them. It's not happening.
Nope.
Not happening at all. And that's why my whole point, Joe. You actually just made my point. You didn't even know it, right? You said they always end up taking that Chris Paul deal, right? All right, so Jimmy Butler expiring contract. Who's not going to take it? If they're not going to, if they will take the Chris Paul deal, they'll take the bad Jimmy contract later.
No, because no one.
You give them the extra. Yes.
An aging point guard is way different than an ego top dog Jimmy Butler who wants the ball in the fourth quarter, and he ain't gonna be able to play defense like he used to. It's not gonna be the same. He gonna turn into Chris Middleton, and then you're gonna be mad when you got to pay him that much money for nothing.
Mm-mm. No, Jimmy. What do you mean? Jimmy
It's
never.
over.
Jimmy doesn't care about shooting the ball.
It's
when
over.
Jimmy was in Philly, Embiid took all the shots. He took the big shots.
It's
right?
over, bro.
When he was in Chicago, Derrick Rose took the last shot. Jimmy doesn't care about
Derrick
if he's
Rose
the best
took the last
player. If Jimmy Butler is the best player, he's going to want to take the shot. But if Jimmy wouldn't have any problem playing second fiddle to someone that's better than him. You see him his whole career with the Heat. He has plenty of games to take 12 shots a game.
I said the fourth quarter. I say take over in the fourth quarter.
That's fine.
It's all right, bro. You salty. It's
beyond
okay.
right or wrong, what do you think? Where do you think Jimmy's going to end up? You think it's going to be Phoenix?
It's the only thing that makes sense. I mean, he's not gonna go to Houston. He wants to go to Houston, but why would the Rockets change that chemistry and things they got going on? They look good. Golden State makes a lot of sense, kind of, because they just need something different because they're just
Makes sense for
stagnant.
Jimmy.
But it don't make sense for Golden State? Like, I don't think Jimmy would fit. I think
Jimmy would fit perfectly.
he'd be a great defender, but he's not gonna be able to shoot the ball like that. I don't think he's gonna fit.
Man, they run the same offense that he do. They just got better shooters.
I don't think it's gonna
the
work.
same type of offense.
I don't think it's gonna work.
You give Jimmy that much space, oh, Jimmy's gonna kill in that offense.
He will. That's fair. I'll give you that, but I don't know. But
his ass already loves passing up layups to throw it out to a 3-point shooter, even if it's some Kyle fucking Lowry. So let that be Steph. I think it'd be a
Golden
great
State or Phoenix. Those are the only two options because they're the only people that have the capital to give something up. For real. I mean, he's not going to go to he's not going to Brooklyn. Brooklyn don't have nothing really to give up. Like
the team that I've got my eye on, the one that if they're going to get rid of Jimmy, I obviously want the Heat to find a way to make it work, but that seems impossible at this point. Sacramento. If things boil up there and Fox wants out, come on over, Fox.
No
Fox
way. So if you're Sacramento, you're saying we'll take Jimmy Butler, DeMar DeRozan, and Sabonis and see what we can do.
Hey, you know what? If they gotta throw in DeRozan to make the offense work too.
So you're gonna go from one. You're gonna go take the fastest player in the NBA, get rid of him, and just say DeMar DeRozan and Jimmy Butler. Let's slow this shit all the way down with Sabonis and see what happens.
That's what I'm talking about.
That sounds terrible. When everybody's shooting threes, this is what we're gonna do.
Hey, they're gonna.
We got rid of Mike Brown. Why not? Why not? Let's fuck this up some more. It's not happening.
I'm just saying, if Fox is gonna get his
that's fair though.
Once his way out, come on down to Miami.
The Magic would be great. That's not too far of a move too. They don't have nothing to give up.
I don't think I can't.
And they need like that's a bucket getter and it fits the defensive scheme.
Yeah, there's no way Pat Riley's gonna trade him in conference, let alone in state.
No, I know. I agree. Go to the Spurs. He can go to the Spurs. And you can get
they're gonna give
Shohan and
we're gonna get Wemby.
No, you can get Shohan and what's the other dude?
Vassell.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And a draft pick. There you go.
You know, an interesting one in terms of what I think that he could get back. I mean, I don't think they're like really close enough to make the move, but nonetheless, it's never going to happen because of who the GM is. Utah could be interesting though. I'd take
Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge not doing that.
Ainge and Pat Riley. Pat Riley ain't going to give Jimmy him, and Danny Ainge ain't going to give.
Unless you take Jordan Clarkson. That's the only way. What if you get Clarkson and John Collins? There you go for Jimmy Butler.
Man, the John Collins rumors to Miami happened for so long.
And he looked good this year, though.
He's playing all right.
Playing all right. Just saying.
All I'm saying is
play opposite of Bam.
I'm Team Jimmy. Team Jimmy on this one. Judge, we got to acknowledge this. Pat Riley's a GOAT. I would never say he's been a bad general manager or anything, but you've run off now LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, now Jimmy Butler. You can consider Shaq. You can throw Shaq in there too if you want.
Shaq, yep.
I'm just saying, that's not great. That's not great.
It's a good point. Bro, I got a question for you.
It's been way more net positive with Pat, but I'm just saying, the team's not going anywhere. And if you were going to be this much of a dick, just to be a dick, basically, you should just trade him in the offseason then. Yeah. Now you're really screwed.
Yeah. I mean, Pat Riley does what he wants to.
What's your question, Joe?
Nothing. I'm gonna save it for my lover violence.
All right. Let's move on to the Suns. So one of the rumored destinations for Jimmy, if he is moved, they shook up their starting lineup. They are taking Beal and Nurkic and moving them to the bench. They are 3-7 in their last 10. They are outside the play-in right now. Joe, what do you make of this? I mean, the Suns at the beginning of the year when all three were healthy, it had looked really good, but they've had all three now for a little bit, and it's not working. Now, granted, they're rarely a long stretch of games with all three of them together, but what do you make of it?
Reminds me of the Lakers, where you're like, man, we got some star power, but then you look around your stars and you're like, oh, it actually takes a team to win in the NBA now because there's so much depth and talent in the NBA where you can't just win with two superstars and nobody else around them. Like you only can carry your guys around you so far. If you don't have people who can make open shots and actually pay attention to the scheme and play the game and pay attention to the damn what's going on, if you don't have that, then you're gonna be pretty much screwed. And I think that's what the Suns have. Okay, you got KD, you got Devin Booker, got Bradley Beal, who's been a little inconsistent, but everybody else around them, they can't lift everybody up. There's only so much they can do. Yeah, they can get you 70 points, but now in the NBA, who getting the other 40, 50 points? I'm just saying, like that's tough. That's tough in the NBA now. You need people. You need depth. You need people who can actually. You can't live going 8, 7, 8 deep. You really can't in this NBA. So I think that's the Suns' problem. They definitely need to shake it up. I don't know what they can do. It's pretty much they're in a handicap situation. At least they got an owner that's not afraid to spend money. You can go to the game and spend $2 to watch a shitty ass team with superstars. But besides that, they got to do something. They just can't stay stagnant and see because they see it's not working. And they need a point guard. I don't know why it took them 2 years to realize they still don't have a legit true point guard out there who's going to have an impact on the game and control the pace of the game. I get you got KD and Booker, so you need that strong-headed point guard in there who can be like, all right, I know all this shit going on, but let me take control. You know, Russell Westbrook would have been real nice there, the way he's looking right now. But
here's the thing. Here's my thing with the Suns.
You know,
I don't think they have a leader.
I
think that's kind of the crux of it. They just don't have a leader.
That's good. They really don't.
I think they got a bunch of really good guys that love basketball, guys that love to hoop.
Okay,
Brad Beal has always been quiet. He's always been a quiet guy. KD as a teammate has always been quiet. Devin Booker plays with some fire sometimes, but I don't get the sense that he's ever going to be a guy like hang on. Like honestly, it's part of why I think Jimmy to the Suns would make a huge difference for them because Jimmy will be up there. He's not going to care if he hurts somebody's feelings in the moment. He'll be like, hey, we need to tighten up. We need to do this. Lock in. Blah 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 blah.
You're right.
They need.
They got a whole bunch of guys that they go to work and be like, hey man, he ain't doing his job. I'm doing mine. Shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I just want to come here and move. I don't want to do all that. Like you need people that are going to come in there and hold people accountable. You know, like
facts.
At some point, like again, I'm not trying to diminish Kevin Durant as like the all-time player, right? He's an all-time player. I'm not getting away from that. I'm just saying
everybody
that I think is what has held him back from winning more than he already has. It took him being on Golden State that had a guy, like you said, Draymond, that could come in there and hold everybody accountable. KD's just never going to be that guy. You know, when he was in OKC, Russ did that. And, Russ, I love Russ, but Russ can be erratic. And so that's an issue when it's not your best player, right? That's why I think we've seen this with Golden State as the talent has kind of evened out with the rest of the field. Your best player is not the guy that holds everybody accountable. It's Draymond, and Draymond is a loose cannon, right? So like some years when he's focused and can channel that in the best way, they do really well. Other times it doesn't go so well. They need somebody that's going to do that, and I don't know that person's on the roster right now. And I don't exactly know how they go and get one, except if they figure out a way to get Jimmy. I don't think shaking up the starting lineup
is out there. It's like I'm trying to think who else is out there that could do that. But you're right.
Shaking up the starting lineups, I don't think it's going to fix anything. Like maybe that gets them like a little jolt and they start playing better. But as I say that right now, they're down by 5 to the Philadelphia 76ers dumpster fire.
That says a lot.
Third quarter, right?
So
now Philly is playing better lately, but
you're saying they need a Chris Paul.
Yeah, I mean, you know this. I said this. I don't really know why they ever got rid of him. Yeah,
because he was like because the fan pressure, because he fell apart twice in the playoffs. Back-to-back years.
I don't know. It just never made sense to me. Like they went to the finals the one year, right? And it's just like
But what did
Okay.
he do in the finals?
Oh, he was hurt. He was hurt by the time I got to the finals.
That part.
Couldn't-
That's
that's the Chris Paul experience, right? But at least you had somebody. Maybe honestly, maybe a guy, depending on how Philly's season keeps going, get your boy Kyle Lowry. He's kind of a
Big
little
booty
bulldog.
Lowry. Get it done every time. Get it done every time, bro. Dude is G. That's the dude, bro. You ain't lying though. That's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. So, anyways,
You know
we're gonna
what?
move. I'm just gonna.
You know
This is
what?
why I can't bring up Kyle Lowry.
Let's get
on
him
this
another
show. He's
chip.
gonna
Let's get him
irritate
another
me every
championship.
time.
Hey,
Listen,
I might swerve on that corner. Whoa, whoa. Yes, sir. Don't play with LiAngelo. Hey, LeVar Ball was right. Got 3 superstars. 3
right.
of them.
So, some other news that I really want to get your
You want to
take
play
on,
Madden
Joe.
2006 after this? And we gonna bump some LiAngelo Ball.
Mike Brown got fired in Sacramento. There's a lot of discourse there that
Told you.
De'Aaron Fox was not happy with him.
Told you.
And that was why De'Aaron Fox has refuted that. So, Joe, let me ask you: was this fair? Was this foul? Whose side are you on? Are they going to be able to rectify things in Sacramento? It just seems like just 2 years ago they were a really fun team that was really ascending, and then Steph did stuff in the playoffs and knocked them and got their ass out of there. But what do you think about this whole situation?
It's the Mike Brown experience. I think De'Aaron Fox probably was tired of Mike Brown cussing him out. To be honest, that's that old school coaching shit don't work. Like, especially when you're doing it to certain people. Some people don't like, man, get the fuck out of here. And I just think that's the Mike Brown experience. Everywhere he goes, he gets eventually wears thin. I'm surprised he lasted this long. Like, where does he go besides when he was with LeBron the first time where he lasted over 4 years? It just don't happen because that's the Mike Brown experience. He wears people thin. But for some reason, he keeps getting opportunities. He's like Doc Rivers for real. He'll be ghost. He'll be gone for 2, 3, 4 years as an assistant, and then he'll get another opportunity again because he does turn a program around and make them good right away. But that shit wears thin on you. So I told you this was coming. I knew this was going to happen, especially when you have DeMar DeRozan and De'Aaron Fox, the 1 and 2 players in clutch points last year, and then you go into this season, you guys are last in clutch moments and clutch games. Like that's pretty bad. So it only makes sense. You can't go from here and then drop all the way down to the bottom of the list. You can't be at the top of the list one year, add a all-star perennial player, and then drop down that bad. If you're a good coach, you should have figured out how to make that shit meld because everybody needs 3 stars nowadays. So there's no excuse. He had to go.
I guess I don't know.
I mean, there's only so far they can go too. But
I don't know. Like if I look at the West, right? If I'm just going down the standings in the West and thinking about just the players that are on these teams, right? OKC, no shot they're better than them, right?
no,
Houston,
they should be better than Houston.
you could make an argument they should be better than Houston, but Houston is sitting at second in the West right now. Memphis, I don't think they have better players than Memphis. Denver,
I think they should be right there. I think they should be right there.
Definitely don't have players to go with Denver. The Lakers, when the Lakers are at their best, I think the Lakers have better players than them. Dallas, they got 2 superstars. Their 2 best players are better than anybody on the Kings. The Clippers, they should be better than the Clippers, in my opinion. San Antonio, they should be.
Return.
He hasn't been back yet.
The return.
Right. The Spurs, they should be better than the Spurs. The Warriors, I think the Warriors are better than them.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves, I think the Timberwolves are better than them. So I don't know. There's a couple teams that are ahead of them that I think you can make an argument that they should be outperforming definitively. There's probably 2 or 3 more that it's okay, they should be pretty close. I don't know. They're not that far off from them. They're within 4 games of within 4 games of 4th place. I don't know. That's just not such a disappointing season that, oh my God, get Mike Brown the fuck out of there. He just won Coach of the Year not that long ago. Now I get it. We've seen Mike Brown, we've seen this happen, so we kind of understand the writing may have been on the wall.
It was due time.
When I look at the clutch stuff, though, Joe, you brought that up. I think it's a really good point. Just why we're seeing this shift in their record. Part of that, to me, I wonder, is that just a little bit of regression to the mean? right?
Exactly.
Do I really think that De'Aaron Fox and DeMar DeRozan are the clutchest players in the entire NBA? I think they are both very clutch players. I'm not saying they don't belong in that conversation, but we were talking about Kevin Durant,
Don't
LeBron,
make me do
Jimmy,
this.
like all those types of all those guys.
Don't
I
make
don't
me
know,
do
like
this.
what? Do it.
DeMar DeRozan is clutch as fuck. He just
No, he is.
not
He is.
clutch in the just not in the playoffs against LeBron. He's just like 0-23 against LeBron in the playoffs or some shit like that on like clutch shots. But besides that, he was clutches. He's been a clutch shooter his whole career.
No, yeah, he
Like
is.
I'm not gonna deny that.
Again, I'm not saying they are not clutch players. But I'm just saying they were 1 and 2.
It's crazy.
That's
Yes.
that's really high. I
Yeah,
don't know that they are one.
De'Aaron Fox surprised me more than DeMar DeRozan. Was my point. Like even if De'Aaron Fox went back down to the mean, I still feel like DeMar DeRozan should still been up there,
Well, but
unless
here's
he's
the
just
thing
getting
though.
old.
Last year they were on separate teams, so when it was clutch
Exactly.
time, they both took the shots. This year,
That's a great
now they
point.
have to share the shots, so that's also
Great
naturally
point.
going to bring that down. Um,
And
I just,
De'Aaron Fox is like, "This is my team. I'm going fast. About to
I
get this
mean,
layup."
whatever. That's
And
fine.
then DeMar DeRozan's like, "I'm finna take my time, get this mid range."
All I know is when you play that many clutch games, just that inherently makes your record fairly volatile. It could be really good. It could also be really bad, right? Like you're living. If you're not blowing teams out, the teams that are worse than you, you're always playing in clutch games. You're gonna lose some games that you shouldn't lose,
Kind of like the
right? It's just
Dolphins.
inevitably story of the Dolphins' life, story of the Heat life last couple of years, right? Like you played too many of those games, it's gonna bite you in the ass at some point,
Thanks.
right?
Unless you're the
So
Chiefs. But go ahead, sorry. Not football.
fuck the Chiefs. That's where I'm at. So I don't know. I thought it was a quick trigger. Like I thought it was a quick trigger this year. That's all. That's my whole point with it.
They could have waited till All-Star break, see how they were looking.
Yeah, I mean, especially you bring in like a fairly significant new piece in DeMar DeRozan and just expect it to work like that. I don't know. That's a little
Are
crazy
they
to me.
selling then? Are they still like? You got a new coach.
No.
Are you gonna go out in there and try to add a piece? You guys think you're close to gonna add a piece for the new coach, or
Joe,
does
I
that
think
mean
I
you're
figured
selling?
out. I think I just figured out the way to make everybody happy.
What's good?
Jimmy Butler to the Suns, Bradley Beal to the Kings,
Don't do that to them.
De'Aaron Fox to the Heat.
To the Lakers. Oh, yeah.
Everyone's happy.
That actually wouldn't be terrible.
Not the worst.
And then
Not the
bring Kyle Lowry back and do a team reunion.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
he can go to Phoenix. That's fine, as long as it's not Miami.
That's funny.
Let's talk about one of the other
And Clint Capella.
power teams out in the West, though, Joe. We got the Nuggets. They are now 7-3 when Russ is their starter. Obviously, Jamal Murray with all the injuries, he's missed quite a few games, so Russ has had to fill in.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of talk recently just about like what seems like very natural chemistry between Jokic and Russ. So my question to you, Joe, should Russ be the permanent starter?
Ooh.
I'm not
You know what?
necessarily saying
No, I like that
in
because
place of Jamal Murray. I'm saying they potentially put them both out there together.
no,
I'm
I
just
like
saying
that. I like what you're saying. Because come on, they're what? I think they're seventh in rebounds and third in assists. But the only problem is what they're like 20th or something like that in points per game. So in the regular season, that's not going to look too great for you. Like you're going to be in the middle of the pack. You're not going to be in the play-in situation, but you're not going to be in the conversation for a top seed because that's just not enough points to score in the regular season when everybody's taking 40 freaking threes a game. So I just think that in this situation, Russ and Jokic are the exact same people. They literally are. Jokic hustles his ass off. People don't give Jokic enough credit. That man play 110% every single night. It's just slow and methodical looking, so you don't think he's rushing 110% of the time, but he gets so many tip passes. He does so many things defensively that you don't recognize because he's hustling his ass off. And Russ does the same thing. When you got a superstar and a former superstar who's a star, and they both hustle their ass off, you have no excuse as a teammate. because your two top players are doing that. And then if you have Jamal Murray, like he's having a good season, but 19 points is not going to get it done. If they want to win the championship, they're going to need him to play like they did when they did win the finals the last time, because it's just not enough. I need you to be a knockdown shooter like you were against the Lakers in that series. I think you guys have a good team, but the way you're playing right now, I, they're going to be scary in the playoffs though, because when the playoffs slow down and they got that rebounding and
game.
assists and the defense and that exactly, it's going to be deadly. But I think they're going to end up staying where they are in the regular season. So I would keep Russ going, let them cook. They got too much chemistry, like you said, because they got that same type of mentality. Let it go and see, until it stop working. It's still early enough in the season so you can switch
It's
back to
something
Murray
that
and
Russ has not
look it
gotten
up.
enough credit for, as he's kind of transcended from being like the main focus of an offense. He is a really, really, really good cutter. He makes
Yes,
very quick and
which
decisive
perfect
cuts
for
off the
Jokic.
ball, and that's been amazing for Jokic, right? Because
It's great
when
for
they
me.
when they run any of their DHOs or pick and rolls at the top, or he even feeds him off the top, it can be a fake DHO. You have to respect so many different things there. Like it's been really good to it's been really fun to watch those two play off of each other. So I don't know. I'm not a person that gets so caught up in, oh, he needs to start or shouldn't start, blah, blah, blah. I just want more minutes where Russ and Jokic share the court. That's all I really care about. They need to play a lot together. I think Russ should close games. Now
I
Russ
think Jamal Murray should close games. Get the
chill.
hell out of here.
No, I think Jamal
Russ
should be
does
out there
not
too.
chill. If Russ
I think
doesn't
I think
chill
they should
enough in
both
the
be out
fourth
there.
quarter, nah, bro. We done seen it long enough that Russ gonna sit up there and take some bullshit shots from three. Nah, unless you can figure out a way to. Well, I guess you can because you got Jokic out there. Give Jokic the ball. Let
Really.
Jokic start
You're still
because
going to
you
run the
can't get
offense.
them.
The offense is still going to go through
You
Jokic. And
cannot in the
If
fourth
Russ
quarter in a
runs some
close
bullshit,
game.
okay, if
Yes, in
Russ
a
runs
close
some
game, he
bullshit, then take his
can't.
ass out. But
You
I
can't. I
I
can
think
see it
I think
already, bro.
until it does not work, I want him out there because the offense is so much better.
I agree, but I just seen Russ do it so many times in a close game, just dribble as fast as he can up to half court and just chuck a three for no reason.
I don't think he's doing that with Jokic. I don't think he's
I
doing
hope
that with him.
not. I hope not. He did it with
Look,
LeBron,
old ass LeBron.
but that wasn't like that. Was yeah, that's true. The goat.
He. There's no way in hell he would have done that with Cleveland or
I give you
Miami.
that.
LeBron.
I give you
Not a
that. That's true.
chance.
That's true. That's true. Shit, probably not even first year with Lakers. LeBron. Shit,
Yeah. Those first 2 years with the Lakers, yeah,
no
that shit wasn't
facts.
gonna fly. Um, let's talk about our man Ant. So Ant, so he's getting a little frustrated. He said he's getting double teamed. I intentionally put those, for as you can see, in quotes because I don't see double teams. I just see people crowding him, running people at him, but I don't see true double teams. But nonetheless, Joe, what do you respond now? He did respond the game after making this comment. He did drop
Right.
53 last night, so I think he figured something out last night. But what do you make of Ant's comments? It was after a disappointing loss, and he kind of was it kind of felt like he was just not really able to get engaged in the offense and in the game.
He said,
What
"Get
do you what
these
do you make
big
of his
clumsy
comments?
motherfuckers out the way." That's what he said. Cause yeah, it was all fun and games last year, and he was dunking on everybody head when they had Carl Anthony Towns who could stretch the floor. He was like, "Yeah, you still do have two bigs in there, and it can get clitters at times, but at least Carl Anthony Towns is the best three big man shooter in the league, and he can stretch the floor at times." Now you got Julius Randle, who everybody thought he was gonna be. Oh, he shot 42% from three one year. He's gonna be great. No, it was back to the mean. Get back to his 27 to 31% at the 3-point shooter that he is. So he's gonna be in the paint more, and you know what he's gonna do? Go drive left with his left hand, and you got Rudy Gobert who's clogging the paint on either side, so it doesn't matter. So now you got a situation where defenses are going in. Hey, we can play zone a little bit here. So I think Anthony Edwards is thinking he's getting double teamed, but I think people are just collapsing on you because they see that you're shooting a lot of threes. Let him shoot those threes because eventually he's gonna have to get in the paint because yeah.
Made the most threes in the
Okay.
NBA so
Yeah,
far
but
this
he
year.
can't. He's not gonna be able to win that way because he doesn't have enough talent around him. You're not Steph Curry, so go ahead, keep shooting them threes. And we know when you fake a three and you try to drive to the lane, it's too much congestion in there. We're gonna collapse on you. You're gonna feel like you're getting double teamed, but you're not really getting double teamed. There's just no space on the floor for you, and it's not your fault. It's your team's fault because they First of all, they traded for Rudy Gobert in the first place, and then you guys had a good year last year,
that was
and then Karl Anthony Towns did what he usually does in tough situations or in a crucial game. He's gonna do some dumb shit early on in the game, get some stupid fouls early on. That got y'all upset, so y'all pushed him up out of there. Thought Julius Randle was gonna bump y'all up and give y'all some more grit and grind and toughness because you had Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert who are off pretty soft, and it's not working. So they need to just get Aaron Rodriguez up out of there and have some better basketball judgment, and you may have a better team because you have a true talented. They actually have really good players. It's just they're not managing them and putting them in spaces to succeed.
Yeah, I mean, I think you identified already the root of the entire issue. They traded for Rudy Gobert. They can't take it back. They're stuck with them. No one else wants him.
Traded and
I agree. I think Ant's comments were basically, I'm asked to play offense 4-on-5. That's really what he was saying. Because Rudy Gobert, no one respects him. No one even thinks he can actually just catch a lob and successfully dunk it at an 100% clip, right? That's like an 80% shot for Rudy Gobert, which is crazy. So that's what I think Ant is feeling. You know, there was this report last year, and we talked about it on here, and I don't exactly remember what you had said about it. We never could really completely vet it out, but it was basically that because of the contract, they felt like they had to play, or like part of the trade and the negotiation with Rudy Gobert is that we're not going to pull you in like fourth quarter, clutch moments because of your defense and your terrible offense, right?
Who cares? Who cares?
They have to.
I don't care that your feelings are hurt. I'm trying to win.
Okay, you tried it last year. It didn't work, right? He's a liability on defense against good teams. Yeah. He's a liability on defense against good teams, and then he's terrible offensively. Like, he doesn't do anything. He offers you nothing. If he sets a high screen, they just completely disregard him. Like, that's when Ant's getting trapped and getting blitzed because they don't respect Rudy Gobert at all on offense. I would move him for literally anything at this point. If I have to take on some bad contracts, I mean, I would see Bulls. Will you give us Levine back for some Rudy Gobert? Will you please take this terrible contract off our hands or something? Like literally anything. Like literally anything to get him off the team, because it's just not going to work. It's not going to work. I think. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. The Heat would never do something so stupid. The Heat would never do something so stupid.
I just thought about that because Tibbs.
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Put him back with Rudy.
Yeah.
Hey, they need depth, right? That's what everyone says. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough situation. I think Ant will continue to kind of figure it out. But yeah, I think having Rudy Gobert kind of puts a ceiling on the potential for this team.
It really does.
Unfortunately for my man Ant. Oh, I see what you're saying, Joe. I get it now. Yeah, we'll trade Jimmy for Anthony Edwards.
Nah, that's not what I was saying
That's
at
what
all.
you were saying.
I was saying send Jimmy to the Knicks.
I like that.
That's what I was saying.
I like that. Now, we'll send Jimmy. You want to talk about another team that's never gonna Pat Riley's never gonna trade with the Knicks. And just while we're talking about it, this is kind of why I'm like I think I need Pat to retire. Like I think his time is up. He's got too many beefs now. He has too many beefs, and it's hurting the Heat.
That's fair.
Like Joe Cronin apparently has a beef with him. He was never going to send Dame to Miami. We know the beef with Danny Ainge that took them out of Donovan Mitchell. He's got a beef with an agent.
How Knicks fans felt when they had Phil Jackson.
So they drafted Precious Achiuwa instead of Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's starting to become this thing where it's like the Heat don't have as many teams to trade with and do all these different.
Why would I help Pat Riley?
Pat Riley hates so many people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
hey, Danny Ainge finds a way.
Nonetheless,
shit.
I don't think he has as many. I think
he crosses everybody. He finds a way.
Pat Riley.
Yeah, that's true.
He might make you look stupid, but Pat Riley like legit just like pisses people off. One last thing, Joe. I apologize. I did not prep you on this one before the show, but I meant to bring it up. It got started with some comments made. Well, your team's coach responded to some comments made on TNT.
This was actually going to be my original love or hate. This was going to be my violence. This was going to be my violence on Charles Barkley. Bitch
too many threes in the NBA. Charles and Shaq were saying it's too many threes, and that's why the ratings are down, and blah, 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 blah. JJ basically said, no, I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I don't think that's true, blah, 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 blah. Charles fired back and said, all right, JJ, we got a lot of Lakers games, so I'm going to be paying extra attention.
We are 20-15, but we are not in the play-in. We are not a bad team. So stop that nonsense. It's just when we play bad, it's bad. But it's too many threes. It's too many threes. And the only reason I say it's too many threes is because it's too many people who can't shoot shooting threes. Like, it used to be to a point where if you can't shoot a three and your ass pulled up and shot a three, guess where you was going? Time out. Sit your ass on the bench. That's exactly what's going to happen. Why are you shooting that stupid ass shot? You know you can't make that. But now people are okay with you taking a stupid shot if you can make 3 out of 8. Ooh, he's not a good shooter, but ooh, he made 3 that night. Acceptable. 3 out of 8 is acceptable. And no, everybody's not a great 3-point shooter. We've been saying that about Trae Young all these years. You're not Steph Curry. Stop shooting all these long threes. You don't have to shoot all these long threes. Look at him this year. He stopped shooting all them long threes. His offensive production is not as high, but look, the Atlanta Hawks are a better team because of it. And I think that's what the situation is. People are just shooting way too many threes who shouldn't be shooting threes. Why can't you do like KG? Take one step in and pull up. Who cares? A 2 is a 2.
It's just not an efficient shot.
I don't care.
That shot at the same rate that you're going to make it from 3, so you might as well get the.
Not KG made his. I don't care.
Well, yeah. If you shoot it like KG, then yeah, shoot it.
If it's your shot, shoot it.
I don't think there's an issue
too many
with
people shooting. It's too many people shooting threes.
Here's my thing with it. Shaq.
You don't think Bam's shooting too many? Bam's not shooting too many threes. That's my point, right? Bam's shooting too many threes.
Bam doesn't even average 1 3-point attempt a game.
Too many.
No, I don't think he's
shooting
too many.
One is too many.
Here's my issue with that. I think people just get nostalgic about their favorite players. I think that's the crux of this entire issue.
Nah.
I missed a mid-range game. No, you don't.
I
promise you,
I promise you I do.
You miss Tracy McGrady shooting a mid-range shot. You miss
a pull-up,
shooting a mid-range shot. You do not miss Antonio McDyess shooting a mid-range shot.
Yes, I do. I miss.
You do not miss Udonis Haslem shooting a mid-range shot.
I missed Ilgauskas turning around, LeBron giving him ball in his spot. He turned around with that ugly ass shot, and it was buckets. Yes, I did. When we knew we needed a bucket and everybody was going fast pace, I knew LeBron was going to post up, throw that ball to Ilgauskas, ugly ass shot, boom. People, mid-range, you got to have mid-range, bro. Even in 2K, I missed that about 2K. Used to mid-range killer, even in 2K. You got to have the mid-range. People act like the mid-range ain't good. People act like watching somebody pull up mid-range and swish a 3 ain't just as beautiful as Steph Curry pulling up from half court and nobody in front of him and shooting a 3. Crossing somebody up and pulling up and shooting a mid-range is just as impressive.
All these players that you're mad at, like taking all these shots, right? You know what Bam takes a lot of, Joe? A lot more than threes? Fucking mid-range shots. And guess who it pisses off? All of Miami Heat fans because it's the dumbest fucking shot in the world.
Because he don't make them.
He makes it at one of the highest clips in the NBA. All I'm saying,
you can do it, bro.
Yes, I miss like a Tracy McGrady type player? Absolutely. Tracy was like my favorite player growing up outside of that was not a Heat.
That's
player,
all you're gonna see in the playoffs, though.
Quintessential mid-range.
That's what you see in the playoffs, though.
Yes, I miss those players. That I think you do need to have that in your game, right? I think that's one thing. Like my Heat have not fallen as much into the only threes and layups, and I think it's been a reason why, like you're saying, when we get to the playoffs, my Heat have been able to have success basically every year that Jimmy's healthy, right? Like because Jimmy doesn't care, he'll shoot a mid-range shot. Tyler Hero does not care, he will shoot a mid-range shot. Bam does not care, he will shoot a mid-range shot. Now, I think the Heat had too much mid-range shooting because it is still a more inefficient way of scoring. But That's how you can manufacture buckets when you really need them, right? I'm not anti mid-range. I'm not saying that you should only shoot threes and only shoot layups. I'm just saying the reason why threes are up versus that era is because we have more skilled players. That's the crux of it. Shaq, you weren't shooting threes not because you didn't want to, because you couldn't. Charles, you weren't not shooting threes because you didn't want to.
I agree with that.
Because you couldn't.
I agree with that, but I mean,
you don't think if KG played in today's
threes.
era, he would have said, "Oh, you know what?
Threes.
I'll take a step back."
Yeah, he'll shoot them threes.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, like, and we saw a lot of players that were kind of in that in between generation, right? Chris Bosh came into the league, not a 3-point shooter, but guess what? When he got his ass to Miami, so you know what? I can hit that corner.
But
it's the same
Tony
thing.
Kukoc ain't coming into the league and shoot threes.
He would now. We're just
that's
smarter now. We're smarter and we're more skilled.
The problem, though.
That's the only difference.
We got average.
People
we got
more
average
skilled.
players who shouldn't be shooting these threes. Shooting threes.
I can see when you watch a Celtics game, how you can sometimes feel like, yeah, you know what, we're shooting a little too many threes or a few too many threes here.
No,
now, the one thing that I do hate that I agree with is, and Jason Tatum, love my Shamanite guy to death, but he is like the biggest culprit of this because I can just watch the play from like 17 seconds up in the shot clock. He's gonna shoot a step back three right here. Now that shit, get that shit out the game. That's not good basketball. But to act like that did not happen just in the mid range is ridiculous to me. That was still a really stupid shot, and you got one less point.
I don't care if you get the point, bro.
That's what I'm saying. They're not shooting it at a better clip. They're not.
But they should if they're so skilled. Why can't you? I don't understand. If you're so skilled, why can't you?
I mean, we do shoot the three.
I'm talking about why can't they shoot the mid range better then? If they're so skilled.
Because it's still a tough shot. Any shot that you're pulling up and coming off the dribble is going to be a lower percentage shot than a catch and shoot.
That's true. Did you see that stat about Buddy Hield? Was wild.
16% versus like
82.
Something like crazy, like 70% or something. It was crazy.
It was insanely high. That was nuts. Like, dude, do not dribble. Like, never dribble.
Please, never
dribble,
put
bro.
the ball on the ground. Catch that bitch a half court.
Super glue that ball to his hands, bro. Make him walk around with super glue on his hands.
All right, Joe. You know we end the show. We choose love. We choose violence.
I was going to choose violence on Charles Barkley for calling out the Lakers because the Lakers are good. They're not terrible. Talking about they are terrible. They're garbage and shit. They're not bad. But I'm going to choose love to Tyreek Hill, my boy. Frustrated. He tired of losing. He said he's not used to losing. He trying to get up out of there. Get up out of there. I know it was the end of the season. You may not truly meant it, but request that trade, bro. Get up out of the Miami Heat. You don't need to be there. I mean, Miami Dolphins. You don't need to be there. And I'm tired of people coming out here talking about, hey, you can't get the money and want to win at the same time. Yes, you can. Go get your money and then go win again later. You won once. Get your money, then go somewhere else and win again. I don't understand why he can't do both. He won, got some money, and now he want to go win again. What's the problem with that? So don't sit here and shit on Tyreek Hill because he's tired of losing. Y'all wasting his great years with that.
You're gonna hate mine because I'm choosing fucking violence.
You choose violence. I know you choosing violence because you're a hater. Because you're a hater.
He's not no Jimmy Butler. He ain't earned this shit. He ain't earned this shit.
No, he said, I'm tired of doing. Did you not see what he did when he almost called for 2,000 yards? He was the MVP with nobody. Nobody.
Who did he do it with?
A lame duck.
The Dolphins. God damn it. He didn't do that with the Chiefs. He had his best numbers with the Dolphins.
And how far did they go? Because why? Because they didn't have a quarterback.
Because he didn't show up in the playoffs. How about that?
Because they didn't have a quarterback.
He didn't show up in the playoffs. How about that? Nah, he didn't go further because Tua was hurt the first time. Still almost
they have a vegetable at quarterback.
But then the second time it was minus 30 degrees out there. I'm not hearing that shit.
He's played in colder weather and with the Chiefs. It wasn't his fault.
All right, yeah. Congratulations. He's not going to go back to Kansas City. So congratulations. You're still not going to play with Mahomes when you leave.
He's still gonna get paid.
All I'm saying here's the reason why I'm with you. I'm with you on what you said. I'm not mad at Tyreek for going and getting the money. I'm never going to be mad at a player for going and getting the money. Now, the reason why I'm choosing violence on Tyreek Hill, you subbed yourself out the game. You said, no, I'm not playing.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
okay. Let that have been one of your
I
7
like that.
teams. Let that have been a player on one of
Only got
those
3.
teams.
I like
You would have
that.
lost your mind. Nah, the reason why I have beef with what Tyreek is doing. Now, if he wants to leave Miami, that's fine. That's not the issue. But to do that
After the game is kind of wild.
mid-game and then directly after the game, I think that's crazy. Like, you didn't like the whole thing. This is why I wasn't sold on this whole experiment that McDaniel was ready to do for this season, right? He said, I'm going to let the captains, Tyreek Hill's the captain, lead the morale and really try and lead this team. I want them to take ownership of leading this team. So if you gave up that fucking quick and you were supposed to be a leader on this team, that's exactly why they were 8-9. That's exactly why they were 8-9, because that's your leadership. You're ready to quit when shit gets tough.
First of all, I feel like that's
Quit. No, he quit. He quit when shit got tough.
I feel like that's a coaching error. Because who thought Tyreek Hill should be a leader is fucking wild.
Well, the players voted on captain. So then there was the leadership council. You had a Calais Campbell in there. I know it wasn't his fault. That man was. The Dolphins were going to let him go somewhere else to
No. And your damn city harassed him. No, and he got harassed. He the best player.
That's not
He
the
the best
Dolphins'
player,
fault.
and y'all harassing him in Miami. He should want to get up out of there. I don't blame him. He probably got a whole attitude that whole season since that moment. I don't blame him. Get up out of there.
Not from Mr. I want to be a cop. I'm not hearing that
that's
from
true.
him. Not Mr. I want to be a cop.
He said that he was trying to get out some tickets. He said he was some bullshit. He didn't mean that. He was trying to get out of court.
Nah, he gives me big AB vibes.
Oh, I can see that.
You know, I could very easily see Tyreek Hill
Matter of
rocking
fact, hey man, I'm a little upset that you didn't win Cracker of the Year. I nominated you, but I guess he didn't get my nomination. So I'm gonna try harder next year. I'm gonna send him some clips and shit. We're gonna have to get a picture, a professionally done headshot and everything, because I don't know how you weren't up there.
I'm not his type. I gotta put that red hat on if I'm gonna be in AB
you talk
circle.
shit about Trump. That's true. Damn.
Yeah, I couldn't get that one. I couldn't get that one. That's okay though. That's okay though. But yeah, no, Tyreek, if you fold that easy, bro, go on and get out of there. You can go over to New York. How about you go have fun with Aaron Rodgers? Go
wherever Shador goes.
That'd be dope.
It's not gonna happen like that though.
No, I mean I don't. It's been a rough week. I didn't really need Tyreek asking out right after Jimmy ended the trade. That was a little rough.
I'm gonna dye my hair green for Jimmy.
For my fandom.
Why did Jimmy have green hair? I thought that was interesting.
I do think that shit's weak as fuck.
How long has he had that green hair?
He's been changing his hair color like every single day. He had orange. Everyone thought that was a sign for the Suns.
Or the Suns.
Then it was pink. Then it was green. Like, this is all in like the last week and a half. So I don't think
pink?
It. What
would pink be? What team has pink unis? The Utah Jazz have pink unis.
I don't think there's. I think if you're trying to find meaning in it, I think that's probably the issue.
That's probably what he wants you guys to do too. To be honest.
Yeah, he's probably just trolling.